Hello, today we're doing another take on the American flag. I'm also going to show you how to do the 2x2 vertical stripe without swirling. So it's a 2 for today. And we want to start right at the beginning. What I'm going to do is the red and white stripes on the bottom, going vertically, and then the blue and white top. Okay, so we're going to wrap 2 pegs, and we're going to skip 2 pegs. Stay very loose with this. This stitch pattern is a little bit tighter than what you would normally have on your loom, so keep that in mind if you're trying to get a specific size. And I'm going to keep wrapping the second round since I already have my white on the go. So I've gone around to the beginning, I'm going to wrap the pegs again, white on white. Okay, and I'll lift the bottom loop over the top just to hold the end of the white in place. Now I'm going to move to the opposite side of my loom just for ease of weaving these ends in so they're not close together. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to wrap the 2. Now you got to watch this first. It shouldn't come undone because see how it's tucked under the bar that we looped, but just keep in mind that might come undone. You might want to put a stitch marker on or something. Again, staying very loose. And I'm going to wrap them again. This might have effect on our first round, but I'm not too worried about it. This will be tucked up inside the hat. And the third round will be all one. There we go. So now we're just going to lift the bottom loop over the top. Watch that first one. Yeah, I can already see, oh, because I wrapped the 2 rounds of white first, that there's 2 strands of the white under the red. Just be careful of that when you're folding up your brim, that you catch your red stitches. We're going to push everybody down. Let's undo that. Pull it under. Okay, now I'm going to wrap the white. Remember, staying nice and loose. And then wrap the red. And work them off. So just keep working like that until you have your brim the length that you want it to be. Alright, I've got my brim finished here. I went longer than I normally do because this fabric is so squishy. It's almost like a double knit, and with this thick yarn it's beautiful. Anyway, let's see what we did as far as the bottom goes. Now I'm done with the red, so I'm just gonna cut that to weaving end length, and then we'll zoom in for folding up the brim. So normally on this, I would weave in the end that I started with the peg, which is the white, but because I don't know how this is gonna go, I'm gonna start with the red. So here's the end. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull that end under these 2 white strands, just so I can see it better. Yeah, I think this will work. All right, so here we have 1 loop of red. The end is the second loop, so we need to make that more secure. I'm gonna go around to the back here, behind this first white stitch. which is here. I'm just going to go under there. Pull the loop so that it's roughly the same tension as the rest of the ones around it. Now I'm going to go back into the back of the red and weave in normally. Just be careful pulling that first one so you don't pull that loop too tightly. That's good enough for the inside of the brim. All right, let's go ahead. Weave in this white one. Again, this is the loop for the second one, so we're just going to go in the back of this first red stitch to anchor that loop in the direction we need it to go. And then we're going to go back over into the white and weave in normally. Just be careful pulling this first one, because we don't want to pull that loop too tightly. And then we'll go back. Before we fold the brim up, we're going to want to weave in this red end that we don't need anymore. I'm just going to go into the next stitch, just sort of to finish as if it was going to keep going, but it's not. And then we're going to go back under the red stitches just so that we don't see this end on the outside of the hat, because this part you will be able to see. Okay, let's fold up this brim. I want to make sure that our white strand stays on the outside because we want to keep knitting with it. And ideally, I do want it to come out between these two, because that's where my pin is. That does make another strand. If that bothers you, just do it in the next one. So I want to start with a white one, just because that's easier. We're going to go on the first pin here and pull the white on. Now what you want to do is you want to find your red loop and see how I've got the white stranded there. I want it to be on the inside between this loop and the peg. Okay. So it's hard to see, but on the other hand, because we're doing stripes, it's fairly easy because it changes color every 2 pegs, right? These are the ones I believe where I wove in the end. This is the top where I wove in the end. This is with the bottom. I'm pretty sure that worked out pretty well. How do I want to do this? Nope, this one and then the big one. So it's tricky to see, just push things out of the way as needed. Okay, so we want to make sure we keep our working end out. Here it is. Where's our red? It's a little tricky sometimes to find these reds looking around the camera. Hopefully it'll be easier for you. And there we go. I think that works out quite nicely. We're going to work these off just to make sure. Go. Yeah, yep. I'm very happy with that. All right, so for the top part of the hat, I'm going to do that same technique I used in the last America hat video and in my combining horizontal and vertical stripes to make a neat pattern video. So if you already know how to do that, skip to the end to see what my hat looks like in the end. Otherwise, thanks for watching. For everyone else, we're going to continue on and bring in the blue. So I've got my blue yarn here. I'm going to, the white's still at the peg. I'm going to go across the loom again, just for ease of end weaving. And I'm going to do a round of just blue. I'm going to hold the first peg there. Okay, and then work that off. Okay. For the next round, we are going to do vertical striping technique to make every other peg white. But since I've got the blue right here, I'm going to start with the blue and just wrap that peg, skip one, wrap the next peg, skip one, all the way around the loom. You want to stay nice and loose. All this stranded knitting we're doing is going to make the hat less stretchy. There we go. And we're going to go back around the loom and find our white, and we're going to wrap the white around all the pegs we missed with the blue. All right, now I'm going to do a round of just the blue. All right, now we're going to do another round of alternating blue and white. However, I want to offset the white. So what I'm going to do is this round, when I wrap the blue around, I'm going to start on a white peg. See how you can see the white pearl bump there? We're going to start on this peg and then do every other one. Okay, and then put the white on all the ones you have not wrapped yet. And we'll work them all off. Okay, you can kind of see what we're getting there. So you're just going to continue in that manner. You're going to do a round of blue, then you're going to do a round of blue and white, but make sure that your white is not on top of where it was last time. So it'll be on, this one next time. Then do a round of blue, then do a round of blue and white, but offset until you have your hat to the length that you want it to be. Try to end on a round that's all blue. I'll meet you at the finishing up. All right, so I am done the top part of my hat. Look how poofy that bottom is. I love it. Okay, so time to finish off. I've already woven in the white end. I just want to show you a little trick here. If your working yarn here from the blue, like my last round was blue, if your working yarn is coming out of a white stitch, you're going to do this next thing. If your working yarn's coming out of a blue stitch or the same color as you're using, you don't need to do this. This is only if it's coming out of a color that's different than what it is. Okay? All you need to do is just knit one more stitch and then do your regular drawstring bind off. I'm gonna cut my yarn for drawstring length and do my bind off. All right, so here is our new take on the America flag in a hat form. Now, of course, you don't have to do America flag colors. This is still a very nice looking hat with the vertical stripes in the brim. It's so soft, guys, so soft. And then this design in the top, or you can just do straight in the top, or you could continue the vertical stripes all the way up the hat. I would be concerned about the strands inside, but I did make a hat like that and it was fine. So, I don't know, maybe next time. Now, I've already donated the other America hat that I made to charity, so I'll just insert some footage here of what that looked like so you can compare. And that's all there is to making an American flag style hat. Thanks for watching. I think this will work. If it doesn't work, well, I'll just have to reshoot the video.